Good morning. It's good to be with y'all. I got a question before we start. Do any of y'all have any issues? Let me see your hands if you got. All right, we're in the right place. Now, the second question is, did any of you bring your issues with you and they're seated next to you? Yeah, you did. Over here? Yeah. So I just want you to turn to that person. Turn to that person. I'm going to give you a chance to tell them what you've always wanted to tell them. Look them in the eye and say, you got issues. Go ahead. You've wanted to say that for a while, right? All right, now, one more question. Does anybody here not have any issues? Can you stand up, please? Just stand up for us. Now, I really appreciate your ministry to all these people. Turn around, wave at them. Wave at them. All right, stand up. Because I always want the person who doesn't have any issues to stand up so everyone else can see what denial looks like. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right, now I start with that because here's the best way to know if you got any issues. Just reach right down here and see if you got a belly button. Go ahead, not your neighbors, but check your own. God says judge ourselves, not our neighbor, right? So if you've got one, that means you got issues. And here's why. If you have a belly button, that means that you came from a dysfunctional family. It's called the human race. You weren't placed directly on the earth by God. You came through a generational line. It's a family line called the family of Adam, right? Adam's family. It's got issues. So what that means is, and we'll get into this a little more later, but what that means literally is that we need to just level the ground and realize that all of us were born to a fallen world. All of us were born with somewhat mutated DNA. You know, we have predispositions to a bunch of different stuff. All of us were born with different temperaments. All of us have had experiences in life that have been car wrecks, some fender benders, some head-on collisions. All of us have been worked on by mechanics in those generations that really didn't know how to wire a kid. And then what happens is, and I want to set the stage for this because it's really what all of this is about. What happens is that you are constructed as a person and you're a piece of equipment, and that equipment is basically created in the image of God. And among a lot of things, what that means is that you are born and designed with the capacity to do a handful of things that are going to enable you to perform. Now, just like a car or a computer, if and there is in all of us, if we're not wired exactly like it's supposed to be wired to be able to perform that way, then we have a problem. And the problem is this: we drive along in life okay until we hit a certain kind of reality that puts stress on that system. And all it takes is a little more of a certain kind of reality to crack our capacity to deal with that. And then we develop something called symptoms. All right? If the roof in your house has a little crack in it, you're fine until the big rainstorm comes and it cracks the capacity, or it exceeds the capacity of that roof to hold that particular weight, and you get a leak. All right, so let's take that to a person. What we're going to see today is we're going to go through a handful of capacities. And these capacities enable us to do things like have close relationships without conflict and breakdowns of intimacy. But let's say you run into a certain relationship that's a little harder and it cracks that capacity. Then we begin to experience various symptoms, depression, anxiety, on and on and on. And so we're going to talk about those capacities. And my biggest prayer for you today is that you will begin to see how spiritual growth and everything that God has said throughout the processes of the Old and New Testaments are all about, as he puts it, reconciling all things unto himself. Or reconciling means to bring them back to the way that they're supposed to be. Jesus said, I didn't come to condemn the world. He said, I came to seek and to save that which was lost. So what he says is, I know you got issues. So what? I'm not shaming anybody. I'm not condemning anybody. Now, it's interesting how the church becomes the Walmart of shame when the founder was not about shame and guilt. But he said, I came to seek. So he's looking for, to heal. Save in the Bible, the word means to heal. He's seeking to heal that which was lost. And let me tell you something about lost, because it's a key thing today. The word lost in the Bible, it does not mean God can't find us. Oh, I lost the humans. Look over by the keys. I think I put them next to the keys. The word there means broken beyond repair. And I think we can all agree, except for our friend down here in the front row, we can all agree that there's some areas of life where I just can't get this to work. And beyond repair means I can't fix it. You know, self-help, the self-help section, that's the biggest oxymoron there ever was. There's no such thing as self-help. Am I the helper or am I the one that needs help? I'm one person. Self-help, those words don't go together. It's an oxymoron, just like, Microsoft Works. You can't put those words together. But what we're going to see is what the Bible says is there is no self-help because we're a closed system. And until we open that system to God and his power and all the resources that he brings to the party, then we're not going to solve those cracks. So we're going to talk about today how those cracks are solved.